Welcome into the Divas Dish. We're doing the video version today with Sam Simahk. That almost sounds like a stage name. I know it's your real name, but it does sound like a stage name. You were here in town with My Fair Lady that's running at the Peace Center through Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
And got to see the show last night. Great show.
Thank you.
Great. It's always been one of my favorites from growing up, so it's like I knew all the songs, and of course, my 9-year-old's like, Mom, shh. Mom, shh, they didn't come to hear you sing. I'm like, yes, they did. Yes, they did. You don't understand. But anyway, so tell us about the show and tell us about the tour. You've been out on, how long has this tour been running?
Not very long. We started about not even 2 months ago. We did tech and previews in Syracuse for 3 weeks, went to Washington, D.C. for 5. We're in Charlotte last week, and we're here now.
Okay, perfect. Well, welcome back to Greenville. I understand you were here with the King and I a couple of years ago.
I was, yeah. It was August of 2017?
Well, if it's August of any time in Greenville, South Carolina, you're probably melted, so your brain may not remember it.
I thought it was gorgeous. It was absolutely beautiful.
Well, yeah, it is beautiful. It's also really hot in August, but hey, glad you came back too. You got to see the other side of South Carolina.
Yeah.
The other side, the cold side. It does get cold here.
It does.
Okay, so tell us how you got involved with theater. I'm always intrigued because I'm a theater person too, so I'm always intrigued how someone gets involved.
Well, I was a really dramatic and performative kid. And my mom had a camcorder. It was back when they were like this big.
Oh yeah.
And she would take home movies and everything, and I'd always find a way to get in front of it and sing a song or do a dance or something. Mm-hmm. And so noticing that I had a proclivity for it, she enrolled me in drama camp over the summers, and that was at the theater at the Mount, run out of Massachusetts Community College in Gardner, Massachusetts. But anyway, there's this community theater that runs this theater camp. The woman in charge, Gail Steele, she does a really good job of funneling kids from that camp into the kids shows. There are 2 every year, and then she funnels the kids from those shows into the adult shows, into the main stage shows. And it's a really excellent program, and I got all of my training there, but I never had a voice lesson or an acting class until I got to college.
Oh wow, impressive. Okay, so where did you study? I know I have it here, but it'd be so much more fun for you to tell me.
Oh sure, yeah, I went to Emerson College in Boston.
Okay.
And loved it there, both the school and the city.
Oh yeah, it's a great city. It's a great city. So tell us about the part that you play. You play Freddy.
I do. I play Freddy Einsford Hill.
Because you're hanging out on the street where she lives.
Of course, yeah. So My Fair Lady, this is the Lincoln Center Theater production that opened on Broadway a couple of years ago. It's based on Pygmalion by George Bernard Shaw, which takes place in London in 1912. And a linguistics professor named Henry Higgins places a bet that he can turn a lower class Cockney flower girl into an upper class woman, the other lady, or duchess, yeah. Just by changing the way that she speaks. So it's a very interesting show. It talks a lot about, from sideways angles. It talks a lot about classism, about sexism, but it's all of these things are discussed with beautiful flowery language and incredible songs, like some of people's favorites, I Could Have Danced All Night, or Get Me to the Church on Time. I Sing on the Street Where You Live, as you mentioned.
Yes.
Freddy, who I play, is sort of a naive, sweet character. I have a lot of fun playing him.
You're smitten. I think it's beautiful the way you played him. It was beautiful.
There's there's a puppy love quality to him, and he's kind of on the cusp of manhood. He doesn't quite know how to ask. He doesn't know how to court a woman, and he's still sort of in the can my friend come out to play sort of mentality. A little sheltered. His mother's really overbearing. But he meets Eliza, who is the Cockney flower girl who is becoming a duchess, and is absolutely smitten with her, and decides that if she won't see him, he's going to wait outside her house as long as it takes, which in the course of our show is about 6 weeks. So it's a little persistent.
But you brought flowers the first time, and that broke my heart when she handed them back to you. Oh my goodness! Oh, I'm sorry, I'm giving that away. That breaks my heart. That's so sweet. I mean, like flowers, I'll take them. Thank you very much. But no, it's very sweet, and Freddy is a very sweet character. I've always just loved how he's smitten with her, and you did that so well. You did. The whole cast did an amazing job. So you guys have 2 shows on Saturday and Sunday, and it's running every night this week as well.
Yes.
So perfect. So come out to the Peace Center, see Sam and the rest of the cast. An amazing job and an amazing production, and the sets are amazing.
Oh,
and just the way everything just keeps moving, it's just perfect.
Yeah, we have our sets by Michael Yergin, who is just incredible, and he designed the set for the Broadway production as well. Which the Lincoln Center stage is much bigger than many of the stages that we're going through across the country. And this one Greenville isn't a smaller one, but Syracuse was fairly small, and the stage that we're going through in San Francisco is fairly small. So the trick with designing to go on tours, you have to design for your smallest theaters, for your smallest stage. And so he designed it so that it can function incredibly well in all of these spaces, no matter how small or how big they are. But yeah, he's absolutely fantastic, as is our costume designer, Catherine Zuber, who also designed these costumes for Broadway, and we're wearing a lot of the Broadway costumes.
Yes.
But you saw the Ascot Gavotte costumes. We're all gray and purple.
Oh, beautiful.
Giant ornate hats.
I want one of those hats.
I know, they're great,
I
right?
can imagine me wearing that into the theater. I'd have my hands popped. I'm looking at Tara up there. She'd be like, take the hat off. But those were fantastic. Everything about the show, and just very simply, it's even when you did Ascot, the way the banner that came down, and I'm like, oh, okay, and then it opened up, like it was just very simple, and you were right there at the races. It's just setting the theater of the mind. I love that. And the stage, the set is just amazing. I mean, the cast is amazing, but the set, as I mentioned, just constantly moving. I'm trying to figure that out because my youngest son, as I mentioned to you off camera, is all about theater too, and so he builds like little sets and little stages everywhere he goes with his Legos, much to my dismay when I step on them in the morning.
Of course, yeah, no, that's
So I have a feeling after going to the show with me last night, there's going to be a My Fair Lady set when I go home.
Oh, I hope so.
If it is, I will send you a picture. That would, you know what? He's got a rotator, so you know what?
Really?
We're probably going to have that. So if I have that, if we do have that at the house, I'll send you a copy of it.
Please.
Just to see. Well, thank you so much, and go see Sam and the rest of the cast of My Fair Lady at the Peace Center. You will love the show. It's wonderful for the whole family, and I saw a bunch of people there that I knew that also had their kids. So bring the family out; they will all love the show. And you'll have your kids going home with a different British accent. I'm sure if I brought both of my kids, they both would have had a different British accent.
That's the hope.
It's the hope, exactly.
We're trying to convert everyone to Brits here.
Exactly. What's wrong with that? I like
Right.
that. Exactly. I like that. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Come back anytime. Thank you. I just want to make sure.
Simahk.
Simahk, that's
I tell people it's like Bostonian saying, "Did you see Mark Wahlberg in The Departed?"
Oh, I did see it. I went down in the car to the harbour.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Did you see Mark over there?
I did see Mark, and we had some chatter.
Mhm.